Hi guys, Sunday blessings. I hope that you are all safe and that you are all well. And it's also the energy of the blue full moon today. So it's a very powerful sort of time this weekend, or particularly today. But I hope you're having fun whatever you are getting up to. So just coming on to do the tarot and oracle review videos, and the deck that I'm going to be reviewing for you today is the Witch's Kitchen Oracle, which is a beautiful deck by, it's an oracle deck by Barbara Meiklejohn Free and Flavia Kate Peters, with illustrations by Richard Crookes. So this is a little deck that I've had for quite a while now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. As you can sort of see, there's examples on the backs of the cards themselves. I'll quickly just read what this says. So this is a 48 card deck. And it just says here, time to go back to your roots and harness the power of nature. Engage with the messages and medicines of plants and herbs and invoke your inner kitchen witch. These cards will help you to cook up and stir in the ingredients to connect you to the cauldron of life from root to tip. Each card reveals remedies, salves, tinctures, lotions and potions to create well-being in your life. Enter this magical space and draw upon wisdoms and recipes still relevant in the kitchen today. So that's really cool. So this is a lush little deck. So let's open this up and have a little look. Now this one is by Solaris Publishings. We've seen quite a few of their stuff in the past. Really good quality stuff, so really lovely to have this. Now this deck was one that I got from a signing from when the guys were in the Wonky Broomstick in Glastonbury. So this deck, these are the guys on the back of this book, so you can see them. Barbara at the top and Flavia at the bottom. And this is one, I believe, that we got signed. So that's really nice. It makes them more special when you can actually meet the people that are behind the product. Now I love Solaris Publishings because they always gild their decks. So beautiful gold gilding, lovely big nice oracle size. I absolutely love the green and the cauldron. This is really up my street. This is like proper an encasing of what I consider my witchy side to be. The colours of this, absolutely love green and purple, but particularly green is actually one of my all-time favourite colours. Love the cauldron. So these are beautiful. Stock quality, anything by Solaris is decent quality. So quite rigid there, you know, nice thickness. So what we're going to do, we're going to look through the cards and see what they have to offer. So what you've got is each kind of card has a sort of name at the top of what it is, and then a keyword. So like this one, for instance, dandelion and wishes. And basically each card reveals, you know, something. Oh, chocolate, my favorite. Okay, so like I'm being really good at the moment, guys. I've switched to dark chocolate. I'm trying to cut chocolate slowly out, but I can't just cut it out completely. So I've switched to dark chocolate. I'm being really good, really healthy. Did a run this morning, was up at some ungodly hour doing a run. So it's all going in the right direction. I'm determined to be slim and trim. I was hoping by Halloween, but I think I'm going to be stretching that a bit, but hopefully by kind of Christmas time. But as you can see, these cards are really beautiful, really lush. They're packed, the information, there's a lot of stuff in these cards, you know. So from an intuitive space, you've got lots of things you can pick up with each card to sort of read and work with. These are great to use in spell work as well. These are a deck that I would say are kind of for spell cards as well as readings. And if you are a kitchen witch, you're going to absolutely love these. I'm not really a kitchen witch. I do a little bit of stuff here and there. But I definitely couldn't say that I'm a kitchen witch. But it's still nice to have this deck. And I think for sort of, you know, as far as kind of kitchen witchy decks goes, this is a really beautiful one actually. You know, great quality. Like I say, it's packed with information just in the pictures alone. Cinnamon, one of my favourite things to use as an alternative to saging. If you burn a cinnamon stick, it gives you a great way of cleansing with that beautiful sort of smell. Okay, I'm not going to show you all of these, but I want to show you enough of them. I love with each card this beautiful kind of like sort of neon green that they've kind of got around the edge. They've really got these uniformed nice. So even though there's a lot of stuff going on inside the card, you've got all the elements around the edge, and the framework is really lovely. I love the structure they've got with these. Really, really nice. And yes, it's digital art, but it's good digital art. It doesn't look cheap and nasty like sometimes they can do. So no, I really love this deck. I think anything by Solarus and anything by kind of Barbara and Flavia tends to be an automatic 10 anyway, to be honest. And this is another one that I do feel is definitely a 10 deck. Right, I'm going to show you like maybe one or two more. Obviously they're not very, even though the subject matter, they've tried to keep it creative, obviously they're not going to be kind of hugely kind of beautiful to look at, because you're dealing with a sort of traditional subject matter, because we're looking at plants and medicines and things of this nature. Obviously they're going to just try and, you know, keep everything as kind of factual as they can. So this isn't like a fantasy deck, but what I do like, what I'm noticing, with each of the cards, you've got the kitchen in the back, and that's always the same. And then the table is always the thing that's different. I've just noticed that. And I think that's quite nice to have that, because again, it's bringing in that uniform energy of it all. Oh, sugar, another weakness of mine. Dear. And elderflower. I absolutely love elderflower. That is one of my favourite sort of tipples to have. Elderflower wine, or just elderflower kind of, you know, just in general. Love it. Okay, I'm going to show you like one more, and then maybe a couple more, because I've just seen another one I like the look of. And then that's literally going to be your lot. And one final one, just because this one looks nice. Okay, so that's the cards, guys. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like I say, practical deck, this one. They've tried to make it as lovely as they can, particularly with the back of stuff. But this is a practical deck, you know. So as we look at the book, we'll just see what's going on with that a little bit. So, but this is really nice as well. They've got a little bit of a kind of incantation at the front there. I'll read this out, actually. So, blessed be this humble kitchen, and all that is gathered in here, during the travels of the moon, and throughout the seasons of the year, from root to tip and all between, be it of fire, water, air, or earth. Know what is intended, said, and done, is from our source of authenticity and care, under here watchful loving eye, and fulfilled by his passionate fire, craft what is needed to sustain and nurture, with harm to none nor selfish desire, or none. That's really lovely. So then what we go into is some samples of how to use the cards, some options of spreads, which is really lovely, and then pretty much it is straight into the card meanings. And then what you've got with each of the cards, you've got, and what I love with Barbara and Flavia's decks is they always do a little spell or a little incantation. So you've got a little spell or a little incantation on that side. You've got a black and white picture of the card itself. And then you have general guidance, then a recipe or some kind of recommended offering, and then a little bit about this sort of information of whatever the sort of particular subject matter is revealed. So that's quite nice to have all of that. And each one has an offering of that nature. So that's pretty cool. So let's see what we need to know about today, particularly with the energy of the full moon. I know a lot of people have been saying they've really been feeling the presence of the full moon at the moment. It's an interesting time, that's for sure. So what I love with these, amazing size, they just glide really nicely in the hand. Love them, absolutely love them. So, oops, let's just see what we need to know about and what they want to tell us for this Sunday, and also this will be a message that follows through for the week ahead. Okay, bear with me guys, I've got to have a quick swig of drink. My mouth is just starting to feel really dry. Okay, that's better. I was just thinking if I've got to do some reading in a minute, I need to have a quick swig of the old peppermint tea there. Right, let's just see what we need to know about. Oh, they're taking a while to come out. Well, there we go. Oh, tea tree and binding. Now this is really interesting because obviously with any full moon magic, this is a great time for protection spells. It is a great time for binding spells and work of this nature. And being that we're on Sunday, Sunday's also when we would traditionally cast any type of protection spell. Sunday is always a good day for sort of doing binding magic. So this is really interesting. So I do feel like there's a little bit of a warning here with this card, but we'll have a little look and find this one in the book and see what it has to say. Bear with me, guys, I've just got to find it. I think I might be going the wrong way here. So tea tree. It's really interesting as well, like as we saw that card, I almost could just smell the energy of tea tree coming in. It's got such a definite smell. I quite like the smell of tea tree, but it's quite overpowering, so some people don't like it. Okay, so this is the little sort of spell or incantation part then. Work together, bind the two, strength, unity, me and you. My astringent power will repel harmful vibes through binding spell. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. So that's the little incantation. And then tea tree's guidance. A restriction is holding you back from making a commitment, although a decision should not be made lightly. Instead, investigate thoroughly before you consent, as there are underlying and hidden factors to be considered. An obligation that's irrevocable, sorry, I can't talk today, my dyslexia. Irrevocable may be a bit of a bind, so why not use my stepic strength to break away from any ties that are challenging you on all levels. Choose me to banish the negative vibes of those who vex you, for my natural astringent power works as an excellent repellent. Don't let others get under your skin. Instead, turn to me to soothe and clear up any skin problems, grazes and infections. Allow me to assist in restraining another's influence on you, or to keep those who would cause harm to themselves as well as to others, as we work a little binding magic together. Promises are kept as you unite with another for optimism, magical results. Okay, that's really interesting. So it is all about protection in different forms and in different ways. And I liked the fact that when they were talking about this sort of the energy of tea tree, they're almost, the way they've worded that as if it is like tea tree is talking to you herself. I feel she's a female. Is almost like, I like the fact that they were saying about for ridding infections and things like this, because when we're doing binding magic, it is like we're removing the infectious or toxins or the toxic energy. So that's nice. And then it's got a recommended recipe, and this is a deodorant recipe. So it just says deodorant for underarms and insect repellent. Take 3 tablespoons of olive oil and shea butter and melt in double boil. Remove from heat and add a 1/4 cup of baking soda, cornstarch and 20 to 30 drops of tea tree oil. Pour mixture into a small jar or silicone moulds or even an old deodorant stick. Ensure the mixture has set before using it. So that's what they recommend as a recipe or a remedy for using the tea tree oil. And then it just sort of says here, tea tree revealed, used by Australian Aborigines thousands of years. It comes from the Meiklejohn tree. Captain Cook was taught about its healing properties and how to make poultices and fight infections in wounds. Before antibiotics were introduced, this sacred oil was a staple of medical kits in World War II. So that's really, really interesting. So there's a little bit of sort of history about that as well. So a really, really interesting sort of piece there, really. Apologies for my stumbling of words this morning. My dyslexia sometimes does get triggered at certain points in the day. But overall, I think this is an absolutely beautiful deck. So the message I take from this, if you need to sort of banish or remove or bind anybody physically, a physical person from your life, or energetically, circumstances or situations, this is a perfect time. Maybe even if you've got tea tree oil lying around, use that in your magic workings if you're doing anything this evening. If you're working with candles, maybe anoint the candle with some tea tree oil. That could be quite a good thing to do. You know, or place it on a pendant if you're okay with the smell of it, to help sort of repel things. Obviously magic is often about the intention of something, but yeah, that's a really, really interesting card, so I like that one. So I hope it resonates for you guys. Going to leave it with you. I think this deck overall, like I said, for me it is a 10. It's a practical working deck though, so it's not the most gorgeous one for doing readings with and things like that. It's one I probably wouldn't work with clients. It's more of a deck I'd work with on a personal level, but I do absolutely love it. So it's The Witch's Kitchen. Definitely check it out by Barbara Meiklejohn Free and Flavia Kate Peters. If you like it, check it out. Gonna leave it with you. Have a fabulous weekend, guys, or fabulous Sunday, and blue moon blessings, and I'll catch up with you lovelies very soon. Take care. Bye for now.